If getting your fellow musicians together to practice is like herding cats, you're tired of having to haul all of your equipment to the practice space every time you do, or you're like me and you have a collaborator that you want to work with that's over 100 miles away, the Lutefish Stream is something you might want to take a look at. Welcome back. I'm Tony, doing something a little different today. We're looking at the Lutefish Stream, which I first saw at NAMM, 2 years ago? It's an interface, but it's not the same kind of interface that you're usually working with. This one is specifically for streaming with virtually no latency, just like you're playing with the other musicians right in the same room. With 2 channels, a main volume knob, and even a talkback switch. It has 2 XLR 1/4-inch combos, each one with a switch for line or instrument. Once you get through the initial setup, which isn't very difficult, and their technicians are available for appointments anytime you have any problems. It's really easy to use and connects directly to the Ethernet port on the back of one of your routers. Directly connected to Ethernet like that, it cuts out extra processing delays that can be created by going through an interface into a computer, then to the internet. Think of it as like a direct connection, mainlining as it were. It creates the least amount of latency possible. And the video stream goes over a separate connection on your laptop or your computer, so that leaves tons more bandwidth available for the audio stream itself. Now we're going to show you a demo here in just a minute that I did with my buddy Danny the other night. He lives in Tawana, Virginia, and I live in Kill Devil Hills, North Carolina. That is over 100 miles away. Previous to this, if I wanted to collaborate with him, I'd have to send him a file. He would listen to it, record something, and send it back. There's a lot of back and forth, and you don't get that genuine connection of seeing the person and going, well, what about this? That kind of thing. What you also notice in this demo is that while my video sometimes had some hiccups, the audio never did, and that's because they're on 2 separate streams. You know, the video isn't as important as that audio. His never did though, and I think that's because he's got a better internet connection. The Kill Devil Hills, North Carolina internet connection is not always the best. Now it does require a monthly or yearly subscription, but that gives you access to a network of other musicians that you can jam with. They can find you, you can discover each other, jam with anytime you want, and unlimited streams with up to 5 people. Like I said, once you get the initial setup done, it's super easy to set up, and this is how you do that. Just plug in your Ethernet cable, and then you're going to plug in the power, it's the USB-C, and then your instrument or instruments. Little boot up phase, the light will breathe, and when it becomes solid, it's ready to go. And then you just plug in your headphones, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Just got to connect to the website. All right, we'll go over the website and stuff, but I want to do this demo first. Now, Danny usually uses his quad cortex. This time he had brought an old Axifex unit down because his Ethernet is actually downstairs in his home, not upstairs where his studio is. And you do need to plug directly into that. Me personally, I've got a 100-foot Ethernet cable going back to my office over there from my studio, all on the same floor. In the future, as Danny and I do more of this, he's going to get another internet router upstairs so it can mirror the one elsewhere in the house. That way he has a direct connection. So he can use the equipment that he's always accustomed to and that he would actually be using if he was performing. So this being the first time either one of us has actually used this to jam with somebody, I wanted to get that experience to see, did it go smoothly? How did it go? Well, we probably need to work on the mix a little bit, and he probably won't use that Axifex. He'll use something that sounds a lot better. So you might need to give us a little grace on the mix, okay? But before we get into that, this is what I sent him, and I said, just add to it, surprise me. Let's get into the demo. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and join this session right here. So let's go ahead and do it. All right, so Danny has not joined the session yet, so that's why you see that it's a gray screen right now. So he'll be here in just a minute. We're ready to roll, right?
We're ready to roll.
I'm going to go turn off the talkback, and what I've got is I've got a click track or a 4 count for the drums. And when those start, I'll start, and we'll just do this a few times and see how it goes. I know Danny's really good, so I haven't told him anything about what I want him to do. I just said add something to it. So I want to see what he does. I'm in Kill Devil Hills, North Carolina, and you're where at? Tawana?
Virginia, up near Williamsburg.
Yeah, up near Williamsburg in Virginia, so we're a good distance apart. So it's nice that I can bring him in here and bring some ideas to the plate that I might not have even thought about. All right, you ready?
Yep.
I'm gonna turn off this. So yeah, it's really cool. This is what he's come up with, and this is, that is what this type of device can do for you for creativity, because you might be like, oh, I thought I had it done until I heard what he could do. Now let's see here, we'll do it again. Talkback, gotta have that on. Well, Danny, that was awesome, man. I really appreciate it, and I definitely look forward to you and I doing more of that.
That's a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun. And really, that's a nice addition to it, and it's something I wouldn't have come up with on my own. Collaboration is king, so I'm pretty stoked on that.
Yeah, man. And for somebody like me, just moved to a new area, I don't have to worry about trying to find other people to go to their house and plug gear. I can just log on and do it.
You can even get on the community there and find somebody to jam with, so that's pretty cool, because there's all those other people, and I've already gotten 3 invitations aside from you to jam, so that's neat. It's something you never know could lead to who knows what.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Danny. Great job doing that. I was really surprised with what you came up with. Something I wouldn't have thought of, and I dig it. Keeping in mind that he is over 100 miles away from me. We'll definitely work on the mix, and maybe Danny and I'll share some more stuff later on. Now, while the device is important, the website is central to all of this, so let's take a look at that. All right, we're at the home page, and over here, you've got your profile. You can change your profile picture to anything you want. You can even create an avatar if you'd prefer. You can click your full profile over here. It tells you how long you've been a member and how many connections you've got. Up here is musicians, and if you click this, It's kind of like a feed. So you've got all your different musicians in here that you can connect with, and you can find out what they're all about. And you can see these guys used avatars. Over here, gigs. And in gigs, there's no gigs available. You would actually put your gig in here if you want to put, a gig in there and let people know where your gig is going to be, and other people can too, the ones that you're following. And then over here at events, you can have your events in here, and you can follow other people's events and things like that. There's messages over here and a little drop down. You can go to your music files, account settings, and your social profile and all of that. And home is more like a feed, like you would on any other social media. So you can just scroll through and see what everybody else is up to. And there's a lot that you can actually do inside the interface once you're connected to a session. Like right here, you can see that you can do some mixing and things like that. So that's good. And of course, you can go in and download each one of these. There's a lot of different actions that you can do with them. But yeah, you get audio and video. So for collaboration purposes, that definitely solves my problem. I have a nephew that lives in San Diego that is a highly talented musician. And if you're in San Diego, you might want to check out his band. It's called Control Defect, and it's awesome, dude. But that's quite a bit more distance. However, I have seen some people online saying that they were doing it up to 1,000 miles away. So who knows, it might work. But on their website, they do have a tool that you can find out with your internet connection if it will work and how far approximately you can do it for. So they have all the tools available for you there. And of course, I also mentioned that their tech service is amazing. You make an appointment and you're on with them doing a video call, and you can get it figured out in no time flat. I had a little hiccup because I have Spectrum internet, and apparently Spectrum internet can be a little bit of a problem child, but he had no problems whatsoever. I think this is a great tool, especially if you're older. You've got a lot of other commitments. You've got children, you've got work, you've got the wife and TV, or the husband and TV, whatever it is. It can be difficult to actually go sit down with all of your musician friends and collaborate or practice or whatever you need to do. So this is a great way to do that. And hey, no hauling of a bunch of equipment. And it's not like on Skype, because I've tried it on Skype and there's no way. It's definitely not workable. Because this uses that separate Ethernet connection and the video is coming from the camera on your computer, it works out quite well. So there we go. That is the Lutefish stream, and I just want to thank you so much for your support here on the channel. Likes, comments, shares, subscriptions, always very important to my channel. So if you like what you see, hit the thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, there's a red subscribe button down there and a notification bell. Click both of those. You'll get notifications when I upload new videos. Well, I think that's going to do it for this episode, so we'll catch you next time on the Vapor Trail channel.